Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to take a look at another horrible case. On December 18th, 2013, a young woman named Brianna Warland was abruptly awakened by an unexpected phone call at 1:45 in the morning. She picked up the phone to find her best friend Heather on the other end, sobbing. Heather shared a recent conversation she had with Sydney, her ex-lover. Sydney had called her, revealing that he had split from his wife, expressing regret over their own breakup, and asking Heather to start over again. Brianna, curious, asked why Heather even answered his call. It turned out that the number was unknown, prompting Heather to pick up after listening and slightly calming her friend down. Brianna insisted that Heather had only recently overcome the difficulties of their breakup and shouldn't get involved with Sydney again. She persuaded Heather to go back to sleep and rest, and they said their goodbyes. The picturesque Horry County in South Carolina is often considered an ideal place to live. This region is famous for its beautiful beaches, among which Myrtle Beach stands out for its beauty and popularity. Besides the beaches, one can enjoy dense forests, expansive rivers, and numerous friendly towns. On December 19th, local police in Horry County discovered an abandoned car, a green Dodge Intrepid, parked in a secluded and remote area along the Waccamaw River. The area, known as Peachtree Landing, was about 8 miles from Myrtle Beach. This spot was used as a dock for small boats and was at the end of a long, lesser-known road seldom traveled by cars. The police checked the car's registration in their system and found it was registered to Terry Elvis. Officers were dispatched to his residence. When they knocked on his door and informed him about the found car, Terry was at home watching TV on his living room sofa. It turned out that the car belonged to his daughter, Heather. Terry tried to contact Heather by phone, but she was unreachable. He agreed to accompany the police to Peachtree Landing to investigate further. Upon seeing his daughter's car in such a strange, secluded location, Terry was surprised, but initially not overly worried about his daughter. He assumed that the car might have been stolen, as it was odd that it was there without its owner. After receiving a spare key from Terry, the police opened the car and thoroughly inspected it. They found no personal belongings in the cabin, including Heather's purse, keys, or mobile phone. Terry's concern grew, and he tried to contact Heather again. Still not receiving a response, he called the restaurant where she worked. The manager informed him that Heather hadn't shown up for work and was not scheduled until the next day. Realizing something was amiss, Terry informed the police of his concerns, stating that such behavior was completely out of character for his daughter and that something must have happened. At the time, the car and the riverbank where it was found were not considered a crime scene, as there were no signs of a struggle, broken glass, or blood. Nevertheless, authorities decided to launch a missing person investigation. Police and volunteers searched the land while divers explored the riverbed. During the search, human remains were found in the forest, but they were identified as belonging to an unknown man, not the missing woman. Investigators, looking for any lead, examined the background of the missing woman. 20-year-old Heather was the daughter of Terry and Debbie Elvis, who lived in the county. She had a close relationship with her parents and younger sister. Heather's father noted that their family had always been united and supportive of each other. Although Heather was independent, she remained close to her father, communicating with him daily by phone. In 2011, after graduating from St. James High School, Heather announced to her family that she wanted to move in with her best friend, Brianna Warland. Her parents fully supported this decision. At 20, Heather worked as a waitress at the Tilted Kilt, a Scottish-themed restaurant in Myrtle Beach, and aspired to become a cosmetologist. Her younger sister, Morgan, shared that Heather's passions included makeup, working in front of the camera, and she was known for her creativity and ambition. Heather was also popular in her town for her kind, carefree, and positive nature. Her friend Brianna noted that when people remember and talk about her, they smile because she was always a bright personality. Another friend described Heather as sociable, freedom-loving, and life-enjoying. She always sought to live life to the fullest, In 2013, Heather had been living for a year with her best friend Brianna in Myrtle Beach. She was doing well in her studies, and life seemed wonderful. However, everything changed when a chance encounter at the Tilted Kilt set Heather on a path leading to tragedy. On a warm June afternoon, Heather was working the day shift at a busy restaurant. While chatting with customers, taking orders, and carrying trays into the kitchen, she ran into 37-year-old Sydney Moore, a father of 3 and a handyman. Sydney had a small kitchen appliance repair business in Myrtle Beach and had gotten an order from the restaurant that day. They struck up a conversation, and Heather felt an instant attraction to the man. From that day on, their interactions became more frequent. They found that they shared many of the same interests and hobbies. Heather even hinted at her feelings on Twitter, writing that she was attracted to older men. By the end of July, Heather began posting intimate messages addressed to Sydney, who was renovating her restaurant. She also talked about Sydney to her friends and co-workers, revealing that he was the same guy from her Twitter posts. Sydney liked Heather's attention and began showing up at the restaurant regularly. They often entertained in the kitchen while Sydney worked on appliance repairs. By July, their relationship had probably evolved from innocent flirting to something more serious, as evidenced by 2 tweets Heather posted within a minute of each other. In one tweet, she mentioned that she had done something, and in the other tweet, she wrote that she was too deep to stop. Most of Heather's co-workers knew of her affection for 37-year-old Sydney and began gossiping about their affair. One co-worker later admitted that everyone knew about their relationship and disapproved of it because Sydney was a married man. Moreover, they often called Heather different names and once decided to play a joke on her. 2 colleagues called the restaurant pretending to be Tammy, Sydney's wife. In August, the rumors were finally confirmed. Sydney began to appear more often in the restaurant, constantly bringing Heather coffee and sweets, sitting in the dining area, or waiting for her at the back door after her shift so they could leave together. The couple often shared details of their relationship with friends, and Sydney went so far as to tell acquaintances about his plans to hire Heather as a full-time nanny when he and his wife moved to Florida. Heather also told her friends about Sydney's plans, and everyone thought it was weird. The lovers were constantly on the phone and often traveled to remote and secluded places in their cars for close calls. It was obvious that this relationship was toxic to Heather. Sydney constantly assured her that he was tired, dissatisfied with his wife, and wanted to leave her, but apparently, these were only empty promises. Fast forward to the courtroom drama, where Sydney and Tammy were found guilty of kidnapping and sentenced to 30 years each. However, the truth remains elusive, and Heather's family, relentless in their pursuit of justice, continues to post missing person announcements on her birthday. So, grab your popcorn, because this story of obsession, deception, and a quest for justice will leave you on the edge of your seat. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell for more jaw-dropping stories. Stay tuned.